louder next time.
Yeah, the legislation, we're trying to get ready for legislation. Already, like, there'll be like 15 organizations coming up to the Capitol on the 21st. I'm part of another organization that's Dignity Power, and we fight for incarcerated women behind bars and who are free. And we fight for the justices, as far as like what's going on, as far as like we've successfully won the dignity bill, and that's incarcerated women having the right to uh, let's see, there's so much stuff, but the having the right to like spend time with their children, to a woman can't be the Tammy Jackson bill, which is the second bill. The Tammy Jackson bill is about it's to not have incarcerated women restrained while giving birth. Also, if a woman is pregnant, she can't be in solitary confinement for no longer than a certain amount of time. So we fought back and forth on that bill, getting it amended. The dignity bill is about sanitary napkins for and hygiene products for people who are incarcerated behind bars at no cost, because and you can't have a male correctional officer in the same room with an inmate, with a woman who's incarcerated and undressed, because that was happening too. And so the thing is that with the dignity bill, again, what like sparked that on was the fact that like a woman had to appear in court, and it was one of the most humiliating things when she was, standing there. She was just bleeding down her legs from her menstrual. The thing is that when you have canteen, a lot of folks, it's, too poor to like be continuing to like put money in folks' canteen all the time. And the thing is that, if they do get sanitary napkins or something like that, when they run out, then they got to use toilet paper. You're only given a roll of toilet paper a week. So when you run out of the toilet paper, what do you use? Corrections officers had told that particular woman, and have told many others, like, use a sock. And so that woman used a sock. And like I said, when she went to court, like I said, she was dripping blood down her legs, and the judge was like, what is this? And that was humiliating. And that was just, absolute, like, there's no dignity in that at all whatsoever, being, treated that way. So we fought for women to have sanitary napkins behind bars, and hygiene products at no cost. And again, having, more time with your children, as far as, because that impacts, women, mothers not being to like connect with their children, and impacts both the children and the mother. So that's trauma. So that's what we have been like fighting for. And so, like I said, we successfully won the dignity bill. It became law. We won the Tammy Jackson, again, women not being allowed to be restrained while giving birth, not being in solitary confinement forever. And again, the reason why we were definitely, fighting on that solitary confinement situation is because Tammy Jackson was pregnant, and she was in solitary confinement. She cried out for help and stuff. Nobody came. She was gone into labor. Nobody came to her aid. And then what ended up happening was that Tammy had that baby in solitary confinement and bit the umbilical cord off with her teeth. So that's the type of thing that we're dealing with. And of course, like, and right now we're also fighting to get to against Lowell, which is a Lowell prison, which is another a state, I mean, a prison here in Florida, which has the worst cases and high rate of sexual assault, poor conditions, and bad treatment towards women who are incarcerated. So we're fighting and trying to get Lowell shut down. That's Lowell, Lowell. We're trying to get that prison shut down. So that's what we've been fighting for as well. And that's dignity power. That's like trying to do the work. Again, I'm a member of Dignity, and Trey John is my president of Dignity Power, and we work on a whole lot of legislation. And like I said, we'll be up at the Capitol on the 21st, fighting for Ava's Law, which is going to be incorporated as far as the Tammy Jackson bill. So the thing is that Ava's Law is going to be to fight for not just incarcerated women, but for infants as well under this bill. And hopefully we're going to get it done and we're going to win. So I can tell you more about Ava's Law, at another time, I guess.
That's good. So do you plan to run for office again?
Do I plan to run for office again? Well, I do plan to run for office again. But I do want to see more of the people in my community running for office as well. And my mentor, her name is Maisha Mitchell. She has, she's part of, she's the founder of, as far as Florida, Front Porch Florida, as well as she had Frenchtown Governors Revitalization Council. She has Tallahassee Food Network. She's been quite a pillar to the community. She's done a great deal of things, and she's amazing. And like I said, she's my mentor. She wants to run for city commission as well. And she really wants to run for Diane William Cox's seat. So the thing is that I do want to see Miss Maisha at the table as far as city commissioners. So I'm willing, depending on like I said, there's two things that Miss Maisha has to absolutely be in a line with me on. And that is one, the Civilian Police Accountability Council. And that's, like I said, a democratically elected, group of people who are people from the community, elected by the people to have power, teeth, as far as making, direct change in regards to policing, how policing is done. And that means indictments, convicting, and hiring and firing, again, expediting footage and evidence, police, as far as their names being known, as far as who either shot and killed, or abused, brutally, someone. We need that to be revealed as far as for the family's sake. One, the other thing that I feel that bothers me, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to get off, but the one thing that bothers me in regards to police is that they don't reach out to the family members, out of respect, and they don't, connect with them and communicate with them and let them see the evidence or the footage first before just blasting and putting out there into the public. That's really traumatizing, and that's really horrifying for family members to see stuff like that on social media before, having, the opportunity to be able to take that in, before becoming public. So again, the police in our community don't have that respect or that, consideration or compassion to like actually connect with the with folks. The other thing is that like they definitely not telling them from what I'm witnessing and connecting with victims of crimes, um as far crimes, you know, made by the police. They're not like letting them know when, you know, those jury, like, you know, court dates are happening. So when, you know, it, like say for instance, Raheem Reeder, back in April, got killed by the police. They were just driving through town, him and Valerie Hatton and another person that was in the vehicle. And what ended up happening is that they got pulled over because out of state tag and the gas cap thing was open. They were just passing through, but something escalated to the point of where Raheem, well, the one gentleman was asked to get out of the car and talk. They claimed that they pulled him because they smelled marijuana in the vehicle. Raheem got out of the passenger, you know, back seat side, and then went around to the left side and got in the vehicle and took off with Valerie and her child that was in the car. So the chase went to the point of where they got to a complex somewhere. They knocked on the door, it opened up, they ran in to hide. Uh, what ended up happening was is that Raheem, you know, ran upstairs, jumped out of the window. Um, I believe that the gun that he might have had, if it was one, um, he got it from out of the house that he was in. And by the time he landed to the ground, they pulled out, the police pulled out their gun and shot him right away. Raheem, what they didn't know, had like surgical pins put into his legs and in his arms. He had already had been injured prior. And so he could barely, I mean, he couldn't walk properly. So if you're dropping from a two-story complex um, onto the ground, the only thing you're thinking about to me is how much pain you are in and how much you're just trying to get your bearings to get up off the ground. The when you look at the camera footage as far as like them, you know, shooting him, the light is so bright and it's like literally beaming, where you can't really see, you know, Raheem. So the thing is that again, that light being on Raheem like that, like how did he have time to even, you know, try to like aim a gun? It doesn't look like that in that video footage, but they shot him and he died. And um, the family, Miss Latanya Watkins and the family was not notified of the case as far as like the court dates or anything. They went ahead and said that the police officer was justifiable in their actions and the case was closed. Um, that was, you know, when I had mentioned that to Miss Latanya Watkins, I can't even tell you how much pain and sorrow and grief I heard in her cries when I told her that, and I gave her that news. I hated to be that person to have been there to do that. And the thing is that in her crying, um, the only thing she was yelling was is that they got away with this. They got away with killing my baby. And the thing is that in my feelings, in my heart was is that Raheem was alone and nobody was there to stand up for him and to defend him. So it was just, you know, so closed and not, it was not transparent and it was not, you know, there was no inclusiveness in that as far as like letting the family know or the people in this community or me for that matter that have been working with Miss Latanya, us and TCAC, me and TCAC, there was just no inclusiveness to that. And so we didn't even have the opportunity or the chance to like stand up for Raheem or to be there outside during the court, you know, something, but there was nothing. So my thing is that it goes back to why people need to be involved and why people need to be a part of what's decided in our community. So a civilian police accountability council is really important for us to have. We have a review board, but the review board is nonsense. They just review. That's all
Yeah.
they can do.
Yeah.
Uh, so we need something that has teeth, something robust and has teeth, and where people have power.
Yeah.
So CPAC is what's needed. The other thing is that, like I said, we're about to launch this people's budget, and this people's budget is fair and just to the people in our community. Um, I need to know that Ms. Maisha is going to be in aligned with those things. And then she's got my vote. She's got my vote. But I do don't let it be said. I do plan to run, but I do want to see more of us on the city commission board, and that means like getting Maisha and people like me and people in the community to get on there, because we need that 3-man vote, when they want to like push back on things that we want done for our community and the people in it. So the thing is that I want to try to get us on board. And if that means trying to lift up Miss Maisha to get on there, again, she, like I said, she's much history as far as like when it comes down to Tallahassee, Smoky Hollow, which was totally gentrified and completely gone. Miss Maya used to be a part of that community, her family. So she's walking history as far as like Tallahassee. So I would like to see her on there. I would like to see myself on there, and I would like to see others get on. But she's 75. But she still got fire in her. So, but my thing is that like this will be the one time she can run. So I think I want to give her that opportunity to get to the people's seat, because that's what they are. They're the people's seat, and those city commissioners need to be reminded that they are the people's seat, and we put them there to serve us. I know that I'm going to continue to work with TCAT, fighting for the political injustices that are continuing to happen in our community, work on a system, tear down the system that's like, been created, and build a new one that's like equal for everyone, that brings prosperity and equality and equity to everyone. And to change how policing is happening, working with the policy, working on trying to like fight to build policy around that, restorative justice, freeing the people behind bars and ending cash bails. Again, we need people power. And then once people start to understand, that we can't do this without each other, that we won't win until we understand that once we pull together and unite together, that that's the only way that we can do this. We need people power to make this work. So that means lifting up the people in the community, letting folks like, putting them at the forefront as far as like, being at the mic and leading these like protests and rallies, being at these press conferences, being up in legislation, talking to legislators. They need to hear the stories. They need to hear their voices. That's the only way we can do this. That's the only way that we're gonna make the change that we want. So again, I'm here and, to like fight tooth and nail to the end. And I'm absolutely willing to die for liberation, because that's why, I was made.
Yeah.
So.
So I got to ask you before we leave, all this protest and all this fighting has to take a toll on your personal psyche and emotional state. What do you do for self-care? What advice would you give to other activists for self-care?
Oh man, how about like I have an organization called Power Up People.
Mm-hmm.
and it's still like on in its development stages. But Power Up People is about lifting the people up in our community, lifting up organizers, bridging, organizers and the community people together, making this all inclusive. And one component as far as like of Power Up People is about exactly what you're saying. And it's what I see a lot in the organizing realm. We don't take care of ourselves enough. We steadily be out there trying to like save everyone. Uh, but we forget that we deserve too, that we're deserving. It was a struggle for me in the beginning as an organizer to actually like wrap that around my head, that I'm deserving and that I do need, to take, self-care, that I have to take time out for my mental, health and for my physical health. And that means going to the gym, and getting that workout, actually eating, breakfast, lunch and dinner, drinking water, getting those 8 glasses in, a day, uh, doing something nice for yourself, doing something kind for yourself, buying something nice for yourself, go and get your nails done, or go and, go to the park and, have a picnic, do
Yes.
something fun with your friends, eat dinner with your friends, eat dinner with your family, um, going out to karaoke, but, going kayaking, um, something you've never done, um, going shopping and buying you, a nice, a shirt and some jeans or something, or whatever it is that you love, giving flowers to each other, um, checking in on each other. And, because sometimes it takes, again, it takes us to take care of us. And so, we have to like actually like give and take in that. We got to call and check in on someone, and they need to call and check in on you, and asking how everybody's feeling, that day, and how was your day, and what do you want? What do you dream of? Asking those questions. What inspires you? What was your favorite movie? What's your favorite cupcake? Or something like that. Just, and always like, just loving on each other, is so important. If you hear like, if one of you feel like, has gotten quiet, gone black, where you haven't seen them or heard from them, reach out to them, check on them. And and there's nothing wrong with getting counseling. There's nothing wrong with getting
Very true.
therapy.
Very true.
Um, Trauma is impacted by all. Every one of us are impacted by trauma. So the thing is that don't ever feel any shame. Encourage your kids, encourage yourself to get some trauma care, get somebody to talk to. And so you can get those things out and, move on to like working on getting the help that you need to like, get more clarity, in your life, get more organized in your own personal world, your thoughts, and
Oh yeah.
write, write everything you do every day, write it down. Um, it's important. Write about what you feel, write about like, what you accomplished that day, write about like the calls you made, uh, it's about organizing yourself and everything. Organizers can organize everybody, but like when it comes down to organizing ourselves, we're struggling with that and stuff. So get that to-do list and everything. There's always been that joke on the to-do list that says, um, wash the clothes, put clothes in dryer, dry the clothes, fold the clothes, because the thing is that like every little, the reason why it's so like bullet point that way is because of the fact that even if we wash the clothes, we feel like we don't have time to take them out. And even if we throw them in the dryer, we don't think that we have time to like press the button to dry them. And even though we get them out of the dryer, we don't think that we have time to fold them. So the thing is that like when you're like caught up in doing a lot of this work like this, you know, we don't think that we have 5 minutes. We don't think that we have 2 minutes. We don't think we have 2 minutes to like grab something to eat, like a yogurt or something, or whatever, to put in our stomach. But the one thing I'm here to tell you is that like you do have time. You have time. It's not a lot. I mean, we don't have all the time in the world. It would be nice if we did have the time to do everything that we want to do. But you got time to, to eat, get the breakfast in the morning, please. Get your breakfast in the morning, or something in your stomach in the morning. By the time that lunchtime comes and everything, snack on something. But when you get home, after like being on the computer or out there canvassing or whatever it is you're doing, addressing legislators or doing call-ins and such and stuff, get that dinner in, and I don't know, check out a movie or something like that. But do something good for you. It's important because this is great work, and it's good work, and I love it, and I know that so many of us do love it, because we're fighting to better the world. We're fighting to change, things, so that like everybody has opportunity and dignity and respect, and we want to flourish. So it's really good work. It's good feeling work. But when we're out here advocating and giving aid to folks and mobilizing these protests and having to deal with cops, or white supremacists and rich folks and everything, trying to like tear us down or destroy us or shut us up, silence us. We're impacted by that. It hurts. It hurts. It traumatizes us, as far as like what we see when we're in the work, when we're in doing this movement. We are, to see, my neighbors having nervous breakdowns, mentally in crisis, starving and hungry, homeless, wishing that we could like, get healthcare for everyone, free, because they need it. We need it. I don't speak, like I said, I don't speak just as an organizer. I speak as somebody that actually is impacted. And that is that like, I'm dealing with a slumlord. I'm dealing with, I've been gentrified out of my, my home of living there for like close to 15 years. We have, I have generation poverty, that impacts me. I don't have any health care. I don't have any dental care. And I can't even remember the last time I went to a doctor. And on top of that, being discriminated because I'm a woman, being discriminated because I'm Black and I'm a minority, being called the N-word since I've been here in Florida. That's been intensifying. I thought that things were crazy in Boston.
Yeah.
In Holyoke and Springfield. I was wrong. It's serious business down here in Tallahassee, in Florida, as far as like white supremacy and racism. And they're not hiding from us. They are blatant with it, and they will tell you, as far as like their white privilege is concerned, they feel like they have the right to like say what they're saying, about us, as far as like, being, the N-word. This is this is Texas 2.0.
Yeah, definitely.
This is Jim Crow 2.0. The new Jim Crow is real. Um, I remember like what, not even, but like 15, maybe 20 years ago, where they were trying to say that like, oh, there's no racism. Oh, why are you still mad, Trish? Why are you so angry? We don't need affirmative action anymore and stuff. But the COVID pandemic and the shutdown, as far as like having to be in our homes and social media, have made it, you know, clear that racism is alive and thriving, and its objective is to kill Black people
Yeah.
and anybody else.
Yeah. In the
um,
way.
right. Capitalism, on top of that, doesn't care about anybody. Doesn't care if you're white, Black, or brown, or whatever. It's just here to make money for the rich. So we have those two things that are impacting us. And so we have to put it into those, into free marketing, free, we have to put it into that. So,
And the last thing, if DeSantis runs for president in 2024, do you think everybody should coalesce around anyone who was against him, or do you agree with people pursuing various paths like during like third party and stuff like that? Because I'm looking at the 2020 election, and they were running Trump again, and the Democrat they were running was Biden, and a lot of people didn't like voting for Biden and stuff. Do you think it would be better if everybody just coalesce against whoever's running against DeSantis, or would you understand if people still push for third parties or not?
oh gosh, I think we need to coalition with anybody that is against DeSantis.
Yeah.
I feel that like I know for a fact that if DeSantis, now first I want to like say this about DeSantis. I just want y'all to know, and that is that this is a Governor DeSantis is running Florida as a militia with tyranny intent. He does not care about elders. He does not care about seniors. He does not care about Black people. He does not care about immigrants. He does not care about poor people. All he cares about is what Trump wants him to do. I feel that Trump has been trying to groom DeSantis for presidency. So my thing is that I do feel like this: anybody and everybody that is willing to stop this tyrant from becoming our next president, we need to very much mobilize together. We very much need to unite together to like keep this from happening, because Governor DeSantis on his clock right now has allowed thousands and thousands and thousands of people to be contracted with the COVID virus, variants. Many people have died on DeSantis's clock in regards to how he's been handling the COVID situation, trying to like keep, people from masking their children in school, opening up for business when we really should not have. I've lost several people to COVID now, and I just lost Agnes Fury from Crime Survivors for Safety and Justice, again, taken too soon from us. So my thing is that DeSantis is trying to kill Black people in this state. So my thing is that he's a danger to us all. He is trying to destroy the working class. He does not want us to unionize. He does not want us to organize or rally or protest. He wants to gag everyone that is not in line with his with his mission as far as for power and greed and control. This is a dangerous man to like allow to even get on the candidate list. So the thing is that we need to like nip this in the bud right now and real quick. And that means like shut down DeSantis before he gets started. So we're in a state of emergency here in Florida, and we need the nation's help in fighting against DeSantis and his tyranny and rule over Florida, because he is not for the people, and he's not trying to take care of those people that are impacted. He's just here to serve the rich and to help the Republicans in the bills that they're trying to like push here at the Capitol. And the thing is that we can't survive that way. Racism kills. DeSantis is racist, and we have to stop him, and we have to put him. We got to take him out of the chair, and put somebody there that's really going to like actually like represent the people in our state, and as far as like in government. So please, y'all can reach out to me. Again, my name is Trish Brown, and you have the I didn't even mention about the moratoriums that have been lifted up, here in Tallahassee. I mean, throughout the state. The moratorium as far as the housing and the moratorium on the utilities have been lifted. And now we're looking at hundreds and hundreds of people thousands and thousands of people throughout the state and right here in our own capital that will be homeless, that are already, the homelessness is increasing as far as in our community. The utility shutoffs are like, consistent now and overwhelming. And programs are not being allowed to qualify folks quick enough before we're being either evicted or our lights being turned off. So we need to do like not just a statewide action, but we need to do like a nationwide action as far as in the US to the moratoriums being lifted up off of people. So we're mobilizing here and we're organizing here in Tallahassee. This is something that I would like to see happen across the US as far as like mobilizing and organizing a nationwide action to put back in place a moratorium to protect people from being evicted and their utilities from being cut off, because we never did get out of debt. People are still struggling financially, and people are still trying to get out the hole. And we've been bailing out all these slumlords, but we haven't been bailing out people. And we need more than aid for just utilities and rent. We need to get our diapers for our children. We need to keep clothes on our back. We need food on the table. We need to pay our car notes. We need to pay our car insurance. We need to pay our credit card debt. We need to pay our daycare. We need to get our toiletries and hygiene products and pillows and blankets and clothes for the kids and whatever they need. So the thing is that we can't afford to live in Florida. And I think I can say that for a lot of places throughout the nation, that we're having a hard time with finding affordable housing. So my thing is that but right now, the moratorium being lifted impacts all of us. So, join me as far as like in that fight. Let's get our local, officials to put in place a moratorium, and let's talk about renters' rights, and let's like work on a bill to like protect us. So please get in touch and stuff. Like I said, we need everybody. We need everybody. We can't do this without one person. We can't leave it, not one person behind. Everybody has a right to live. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, that'll do it for us. That was an absolutely great interview. I will leave a tile at the end of this for Tallahassee Action Committee so you can know how to help out or donate or contact them.
Yeah.
So I want to go ahead and wrap this up, and I want to thank everybody for watching. And this is Black Leadership Analysis.
Thank y'all for having me here.